The military parade commemorating the anniversary of Japan's surrender, the end of World War II, and the occupation of China became a large-scale demonstration of China's military might. The axis of evil, led by Xi Jinping, Putin, and Kim Jong-un, is challenging the United States and the entire Western world.
It was very, very impressive, but I understood why they were doing it. They were hoping I was watching them, and I was watching them.
The military spectacle in China demonstrated that, as of today, China's foreign policy ambitions go far beyond just controlling Taiwan. Beijing is preparing for a global confrontation with the United States.
People on this planet should live in peace, not return to the law of the jungle. The law of the jungle. The path of peaceful development must be followed at all times. China is ready to firmly defend peace and tranquility throughout the world.
Drones, hypersonic missiles, unmanned vehicles, submarines, and robot wolves. What kind of army did Comrade Xi showcase at the parade in China? And what message is Beijing sending to the free world? This and more coming up next in the Arsenal. The first thing that caught the eye at the Chinese parade was the huge number of soldiers participating in the march on foot. Representatives of 45 Chinese military units marched on the square, from absolutely all branches of the People's Liberation Army of China. For example, representatives of the space, cyber, and information forces participated in the parade for the first time. All of this was to showcase the greatness and modernity of the Chinese army.
China is presenting itself and positioning itself as the second decision-making center. In other words, it is essentially a signal to the United States that the People's Republic of China envisions a bipolar world order, where accordingly the leading roles will be, they belong to the United States and the People's Republic of China. Accordingly, the Russian Federation is assigned the role of an actual vassal to the PRC.
Cyber and information forces only appeared in the Chinese army in 1924. According to military experts, their emergence indicates that Beijing is building its armed forces in line with the concept multi-domain operations. This is the most advanced military theory.
Parade demonstrations are all well and good, but I hope they won't lead to a military conflict. We know what they believe in and what they represent. We also know how strong we are and what military advantages we possess. They know this too. Our task is to maintain these military advantages in space, in the air, at sea, underwater, and with long-range weaponry. All the new capabilities that we have.
The essence of the concept is that the armed forces act simultaneously and in a coordinated manner not only on land, sea, and air, but also in cyberspace and outer space. And all of this is under a single operational command in the closest coordination with intensive and constant information exchange.
China's strength in building a capable military lies in its political mandate from the highest authority, from the top down. The Chinese system can quickly carry out large-scale structural reforms, integrating space, cyber, and information forces into command structures.
But still, China's main surprises were in missiles, equipment, and drones. At the parade, the PLA showcased several missiles at once that will strengthen its strategic nuclear forces. The Dongfeng 61 is a new solid-fuel ballistic missile on a mobile platform, in the same class as the Russian Yars. Also, the modernized intercontinental ballistic missile Dongfeng 5 with 12 warheads. It can be compared to the Russian Sarmat, the air-launched hypersonic missile JL-1, as well as the JL-3, which is launched from submarines. These and other ballistic missiles displayed at the parade demonstrate that China is investing heavily in the modernization of its entire nuclear triad, strengthening its position in nuclear deterrence.
It is no coincidence that the nuclear triad of the PRC was showcased at the parade. This was the main focus. I would like to note that, accordingly, during the large-scale military parade, the Chinese leadership showcased the latest models of strategic weaponry. Among them, first and foremost, attention should be paid to the intercontinental ballistic missile classified as DF-61.
Naturally, there was also a display of force potentially intended for Taiwan. At the parade, the AGX-02 unmanned underwater vehicle was shown for the first time. Experts believe that this is an unmanned maritime drone, essentially a torpedo designed for ships and aircraft carriers. It is even assumed that its power plant could be nuclear. One thing can be said with certainty. China has significantly strengthened its position on the maritime battlefield.
And this, first and foremost, is evidence that China is indeed ready to effectively utilize such advanced maritime drones both against the formidable carrier groups of the United States and its key allies, as well as in the unfortunate event of a potential military resolution of the complex Taiwan issue, demonstrating a significant strategic capability.
On land, the Chinese showcased hundreds of the latest tanks, armored vehicles, howitzers, and multiple launch rocket systems. Among them, the long-range HQ-29 surface-to-air missile system stood out. Western analysts suggest that the system's technical specifications are so impressive that it is capable of shooting down enemy satellites. Currently, only 4 countries are developing such technology: the USA, Russia, China, and India. Another Chinese innovation is the mobile LY-1 laser. Its technical specifications are classified, but judging by the size of this air defense laser system, it is capable of shooting down targets. Not only drones, but also larger targets, such as missiles or aircraft. Currently, air defense laser systems are one of the most promising areas. All advanced nations in the world, without exception, are working on the development and creation of such weapons, because it is lasers that have the potential to solve the economic problem of air defense. After all, despite the impressive cost of development, operation is extremely cheap. A laser shot costs hundreds or even thousands of times less than firing an anti-aircraft missile.
The air defense laser system, which again serves as a kind of signal to the United States, taking into account once again the experience of US actions both in Iraq and in Iran. In other words, we can say that the People's Republic of China is analyzing the nature of US military operations and accordingly is taking preventive steps to neutralize the main capabilities of the US Army, namely achieving total dominance in the digital domain.
And yet, despite the pomp, scale, and technological sophistication, participation in the parade is not a guarantee of effectiveness or combat readiness. China's army and all its modern weaponry have not participated in actual combat. Experts note that the secrecy, including the results of practical use, could play a trick on China. The same kind of cruel joke as once befell the Kremlin strongman who liked to flex his muscles on Red Square.
Most of the weapons and platforms were not entirely new, but overall, every land, air, and sea platform was more modern than those in service with Western military organizations. However, newer does not always mean better. While most Western military equipment has been tested in Iraq, Ukraine, and other places, none of the new Chinese systems have undergone such trials.
That's all for now. Don't forget to write in the comments which types of weapons you'd like to learn more about. Like this video and of course subscribe to our Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video.